Welcome to Movie Galaxy. In today's recap video, I will tell you about a girl who was thrown into a dragon pit as a sacrifice in an ancient tradition that keeps a dragon from attacking the kingdom, but she fought the giant dragon, survived, and came back for revenge. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. The prince and the bride cut their hands and hold onto each other tightly. As their blood mixes, the bride gains the royal bloodline. After the wedding ends, the prince carries the bride to the center of a stone bridge. Then, without warning, he throws her into a deep, dark pit. The girl is given as a sacrifice to the dragon in an ancient tradition that keeps the dragon from attacking the kingdom. After an unknown amount of time passes, she slowly wakes up and begins to cry out for help toward the hole above, but no one answers. Instead, her voice wakes the sleeping dragon. She then realizes the truth: her marriage to the prince was only a deal between the royal family and the dragon. Angry, she rips off her necklace and throws it away. She tries to climb the rocky walls to escape, but she slips and falls back down to the ground. Lying there, she notices broken ornaments scattered around, signs that many others have been sacrificed in this pit before. She then sees a flickering light nearby and walks toward it. To her surprise, it is a small bird covered in flames. She quickly grabs some dirt to put out the fire, but the bird is dead already. As she is about to bury it, she hears strange sounds echo ahead. Suddenly, thousands of burning birds fly toward her, crashing into everything like headless flies. Terrified, she crouches down and covers her head. When the noise stops and silence returns, she looks around and sees the charred remains of the birds scattered everywhere, and she has no idea what just happened. Suddenly, she hears a deep growl come from behind her, which scares her, and she can't even breathe. She turns and sees a giant claw sliding along the rocky wall. She panics and runs. The dragon roars and breathes fire at her, and at the last moment, she dives into a cave, barely escaping. But the flames burn her leg, and the pain makes her cry out. Outside, the dragon's voice echoes, "Did I hurt you?" To her surprise, it is speaking. She realizes the dragon can't fit into the cave. She pulls a small dagger from her pocket, tears a strip of fabric to wrap her burn, and uses leftover flames on the ground to light a small lamp. With only the dim light to guide her, she begins searching for a way out. The cave grows narrower, and she has to crawl instead. The wet, slippery walls make her slip and fall, and her lamp goes out. After what feels like forever, she stands up and sees a soft glow ahead. She follows it, not knowing that in front of her is a deep pit. Startled, she steps back. Then, in anger, she throws the ring the prince gave her earlier into the abyss. Gathering her courage, she runs and leaps across the deep gap. She almost falls, but at the last moment, she uses her dagger to catch a crack in the rock, clinging to it and pulling herself up with pure determination. At the top, she sees that glowing she saw was insects on the cave walls. She gently cups one in her hand. Its faint light gives her an idea. She tears off a sleeve, places the glowing insect inside, and makes a simple lamp. A few moments later, she finds a water source, but it is too polluted for her to drink. Instead, she starts catching water drops from melting ice hanging from the ceiling. Suddenly, the ice around her begins to melt very fast. It is the dragon, and she barely manages to squeeze into a narrow tunnel to escape. After the dragon leaves, everything goes quiet. She notices names carved into the rock walls, marks left by others who once hid here too. Later, when she wakes up, glowing insects are crawling on her burned leg. Disgusted, she brushes them off, only to realize the burn on her leg is completely healed. To test it, she places a few insects on a wound on her arm. Amazingly, it heals within seconds. Feeling hopeful, she moves deeper into the cave and discovers a map carved into the wall. It looks like someone has managed to escape before her. She adds her own name to the wall and follows the directions from the map. Eventually, she reaches a passage that leads upward, its walls covered in glowing, crystal-like writing. Unsure how to climb up, she notices a crown nearby, proof that someone has tried before. She tears her clothes into strips and wraps them around her hands and feet. Then she uses the crown like a hook to help her climb the crystals, moving up slowly, bit by bit. Halfway up, her foot slips. Luckily, the crown catches on a crystal and keeps her from falling. But the crystal can't hold her weight and starts to crack. With all her strength, she pushes herself. She finally reaches the top of the passage. She sees the exit and hurries toward it, only to find it sitting at the edge of a steep cliff. The hope she just felt vanishes in an instant. In her sadness, she spots a group of people far away. She shouts out to them with hope, but they are too far to hear her. Suddenly, a huge shadow moves toward her. The dragon, drawn by her cries, rushes at her. Terrified, she runs back into the cave just as the dragon is about to breathe fire and burn her. Suddenly, a man's voice echoes from somewhere in the distance. The dragon turns toward the sound, curious, giving her a brief moment to breathe. She hears her father calling her name, and without thinking, she runs deeper into the cave. Following her father's voice, she comes upon a strange place filled with golden jewels. In the center lie the bodies of 3 baby dragons. She suddenly remembers a legend she heard long ago. It tells of a king and his soldiers who found 3 newborn dragons in that very spot. The king ordered them to be killed. The furious mother dragon burned the soldiers with her fire. When the king begged for his life, she spared him but placed a curse on his family. For generations, they must offer sacrifices so the king and his descendants will know the pain of losing loved ones. To avoid sacrificing their own family members, the royal family created a cruel plan. They married outsiders and used them as replacements. The girl is horrified. The legend is real, and she is part of it now. Hearing her father's voice again, she keeps searching for him. But her father and the others have underestimated the dragon's power. One of the men is crushed in an instant, and another is wiped out with a single swing of the dragon's claw. The dragon lets out a furious roar at her father, who bravely pulls out his enchanted sword and charges. But before he can strike, the dragon catches him with its tail and holds him upside down. "Please, I beg of you," he pleads. The dragon releases him, but only to demand that he call out the girl hiding close by. Hiding at the back of a pillar, she watches as her father refuses and instead shouts for her to stay hidden. Enraged, the dragon slams him to the ground and drives its claw into his chest. Hearing her father's scream of pain, the girl cries out before she can stop herself. The dragon turns toward the sound of her voice and moves closer to the pillar. She presses herself against the stone, trying not to be seen. Suddenly, one of her father's companions, still alive, tries to escape. As he runs, he accidentally kicks a rock, drawing the dragon's attention away. While the creature chases after him, the girl rushes to her father's side. With his last breath, he tells her to climb back up using the rope she came down on. Her mother and sister are waiting for her on a ship. Taking advantage of the distraction, she climbs the rope and escapes the cave just as the dragon's flames nearly reach her. Without stopping, she jumps onto her father's warhorse and rides away at full speed. But the dragon chases after her, closing in quickly, knowing she can't outrun it. She leaps off the horse and hides in a pile of rocks. The dragon soars overhead, missing her hiding spot, and burns the horse in its rage. Still furious, it unleashes fire across the land, turning the entire mountain into a blazing fire. Seeing the mountain engulfed in flames, the queen realizes the girl has caused the disaster. In response, she orders the girl's sister to be captured and offered as the next sacrifice to the dragon. The following morning, the girl wakes up among the rocks, thinking she has finally escaped the beast. But on her way, she runs into her mother, who tells her the terrible news: her sister has been taken by the royal family. Horrified, the girl jumps on her mother's horse and races back to save her. When she reaches the stone bridge, it's already too late. She hears her sister's cries rising from the bottom of the pit. She climbs down again using the rope and sees the dragon flying away with her sister. Now that she knows the area well, she quickly finds the dragon's lair. Inside, she discovers her father's armor and weapons. Thinking fast, she builds a simple time device and hides nearby, waiting for it to go off and draw the beast's attention. When the sound distracts the dragon, the girl quietly moves toward her sister. Just as they are about to escape, the dragon returns. The girl shouts, "We've all been tricked. This is a conspiracy by the royal family, I'm not really one of them." But the dragon doesn't believe her. It says it can smell royal blood in her veins. Before she can reach her sword, the dragon burns her again, then pins her to the ground and drives its claw into her side. In a desperate move, she pulls a dagger from the harness on her chest and plunges it into the dragon's eye. Roaring in pain, the dragon throws her across the cave. Seizing the moment, she grabs her sword and charges at the dragon. "I am not one of them," she shouts. Still unconvinced by her words, the dragon grabs her once more. Just in time, she drives her sword into its claw, forcing it to release her and throw her aside again. Then she spots a crumbling rock wall nearby. As the dragon charges at her, she moves carefully toward it, provoking it on purpose, hoping it will use its flames. Enraged, the dragon unleashes its fire, only for the flames to bounce back and scorch itself. Wounded and weakened, it collapses. The girl walks up to it with her sword, but instead of striking, she holds out her hand. "This is how the royal family fooled you," she says. "They mixed royal blood into mine." She continues, for years, you've killed innocent girls, just like the royals you hate. Instead of finishing the dragon off, she drives her sword into the ground. Then she collects glowing insects and uses them to treat the dragon's burns. The following day, the prince holds yet another wedding ceremony with a new bride. The girl storms in, warning the bride and her family to flee. She urges everyone present to escape while they still can, but no one listens. Seeing their stubbornness, she makes a choice. Right then, the dragon descends from the sky. After the girl leaves, it unleashes its fury, burning the entire royal court to ash. The castle is completely destroyed in flames. As the movie concludes, the girl is seen walking back home, no longer alone, but with a new companion by her side. Thanks for watching our recap video. Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button to help the growth of this channel.